A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there to my channel, the Twinflame Union. And in this channeling session, I would be talking about the divine masculine gets replaced by a soulmate of the divine feminine. Now, I had literally ended that channeling, but somehow in my heart, I wasn't satisfied because I was like, how is this possible? Would it be correct? Would it be appropriate? Would it create some sort of a hindrance in the divine feminine's journey? All those questions were in my mind because we all know that the twin flamers are meant to meet for a purpose, for a reason. But it is not necessary that they get married in this life. It is not necessary that they, do a public commitment or they, express this type of a commitment in a legal or in a formal way or in a ceremonial way. However, the love they will feel for themselves will always be the purest, the most real, the love that they will not feel from anyone else, no matter what they do, no matter who they go to, what they do. The love they feel for each other will always be constant. So then what is this happening? I was questioning to the universe because and the guides and the masters, and I got very beautiful answers which I must relay. Therefore, this is the part 2 of that channeling session. So one of the first point that was shared with me is that twin flame journey is the journey to the source. It is journey in the hell to the source. And also very important to know is that why are twin flamers in this journey? The twin flamers are in this journey so that they do not come again to planet Earth. Whatever they are here to do, their mission work, it is done in this life itself. And some of them are predestined. Some of their, would feel, like a lot of you would feel that you literally don't have to do anything. Everything is happening on its own. It's almost like autopilot mode. But the only problem is that you have not given up the control and you had not surrendered to the universe. But the more you surrender to the universe, the more you let go, the more you let it be. Even when negative situations happen and you try very hard to please everyone, it's not just the divine masculine with him you feel this dynamic. Even in your own family, even with your own friends, everywhere you've been feeling that I have to please other people. You would write messages to them. You would try to pacify them. You would say sorry to them even when they are not wrong. And they will not let their ego down. They will insult you. They will reprimand you. They will punish you. They will torture you. They will do whatever they can to make you feel horrible, and most importantly, under their control. The divine masculine also plays this game with the divine feminine because he wants her to be under his control and do everything as he likes. She should be available as per him. She should get punished as per him. There is a lot of patriarchal healing that the divine masculine needs. Now, when the divine feminine does the inner work and she starts becoming, connected more and more with the source and she surrenders, she realizes that she can be happy without anyone. Wow, what a superpower. And she doesn't need to explain to anyone. She doesn't owe any explanations to anyone. She is not obligated under anyone, and she doesn't need to please anyone. If someone does not like her, if someone has a problem with her, if someone talks meanly to her, or they talk behind her back, or they have a bad image about her, or they create within the family or in the public circle or in the workplace or whatever, they try to create her bad image and this and that, she gives no flying F's for that. She gives a rat's ass to that. This is what she becomes. She becomes badass. She tells people, you've been telling me that I am bad. Even to the divine masculine, she develops this attitude that I did everything for you. I did things that a human being cannot do, another human being cannot do in the name of love. I did that for you. But what did you give to me? You gave to me only pain and suffering and misery, lack of support, lack of acknowledgement, blame game, name game, this, that, always cribbing, always nothing. There is no giving. Masculine is supposed to be a giver. Feminine is supposed to be a receiver. So I was the one who was giving to you, but you never gave anything to me. You only wanted from me. But when I started doing the inner work and I changed and I became open to receiving, you're not open to give. You're still grumpy. You're still upset. You're still complaining about the past. You're still picking on to small little words that I said to you, maybe in a funny mood, maybe jokingly, or even if I said seriously, who the hell cares? It's in the past. We have moved on. Didn't I also say that I love you? Didn't I also act in such a way which proves that I love you more than anybody else? Wasn't I unconditional in my approach? So the separation phase is very, very important, my friends. A lot of you people who have a problem with the separation phase, that's because you have not healed. You still have traumas, you still have blocked energies, and you're not accepting it. You are in denial. You have to understand that this problem or this energy, this type of energy exchange, you don't have only with divine masculine. When you are in the separation phase, even if the separation phase is 10 years long, it's 2 years long, it's 3 years long, it's 15 years long, it does not matter, because in that time frame, in that time period, you are going to learn that everybody in your life is treating you the same way. You have not been treated with respect, with love. And other than, if you have a spiritual master or a guru or someone you can confide into, someone who really genuinely stood by you, only that person, most of them could have even passed over. Only those people gave you true love. They were in your childhood, you got disconnected with them, and due to the inner work, you got reconnected with them. And you realize, you learn in the separation phase that, oh my God, I have been doing this for the rest of my life with the rest of the people. But this type of awakening, when you become awoke, again I will say this, I will repeat it, there is a big difference between being awoke and being spiritual. Many spiritual people are not yet awakened. They are not awoke. They are not woke, basically. They are not. They are just doing some ritualistic things. They are doing this fasting. They do everything, basically. Some of the ultra spiritual people, they do everything. Whatever they find, anything that is trending, anything that sounds spiritual, they do it. But the people who do inner work, they are the people who are working on their awakening, because they are very honest to themselves. They do yoga. Maybe doing yoga doesn't help them. They join some classes. It doesn't help them. They do this, they do that, they travel here and there, it doesn't help them. But when they really burn their soul in the fire of real penance, of real understanding, we call it sadhana in Hindi. When they do that real thing, real inner work, and don't make it, you should not never make it woo-woo stuff, or you should never make it as per other people's convenience. Like I have seen some people who mock spiritual people or spiritual practices, but they themselves are so superstitious and so stuck in the religious dogmas, they're so judgmental. When you meet such people, it's better to not give your energy to them. They don't deserve it. You don't have to explain your spiritual side to anyone, but you have to be very honest with yourself. Every single moment, every time you have to be honest. And this channeling is also for the divine masculines if they are listening to it, because I know a lot of divine masculines are also on this channel. They are more quiet. That is a good thing also. Some of them do comment, some of them do write to me though. The thing is that the divine masculines also have to do their own level of inner work and understanding as to why their mission is connected with the feminine. The feminines are born with a mission, and they come into the mission work when they are in separation. They have always been in the mission work, but because, this runner-chaser dynamic is not just a dynamic which happens in the DM and the DF. This is an energy dance. It happens in many things. Like if you want to be an entrepreneur, but you keep playing with it, as in you do it for some time, but you cannot do it fully. Then you do it sometimes and again you are back to zero. Then you try again, something happens, it works out again. That's because you keep disconnecting with your own self. So what is happening in the divine masculine's mind when she chooses the soulmate is, number one, he needs to buckle up. He needs to understand that he is not here on this planet only to live a materialistic life, and that he only learns when he sees her, when he gets inspired by her, when she does something, which is literally what she's supposed to do. And again, she is not the doer. Doer is source. She's simply the medium, the device. That's it. No superiority complex about being the doer, because the minute you become the doer, you are again going to feel bad about something. Because when you're not the doer, neither will you feel good about your achievements. You're not going to take any credit. You know that it's been done by the masters. And when something bad happens, something doesn't work out, you know that there is something that you need to heal. You are not in your frequency. You're not in your zone. So the divine masculine, when he becomes the catalyst for her growth, it's because materialistically, he is at a certain space. He doesn't know what sexual abuse is, because his sacral chakra is healed. He's been in a protective atmosphere throughout his life, and he even enjoyed sexual exchanges to a good extent. It's only when he met the divine feminine, he felt that after meeting her, he cannot seem to focus on anyone else. What is it that she has? He doesn't get satisfied with anyone else. He feels very guilty. That's because he has fallen in love with her for real. And when someone falls in love with someone for real, they don't love the body. No, they cannot love the body. That is the whole thing. That is the whole point. They cannot love the body because they are in love with their soul. They are in love with their personality. But there's so much denial, so much programming, because, spiritual programming, the fake spiritual programming can still be released easily. But this materialistic programming is very difficult to deal with for the divine masculines, because since their birth till whatever age they are, they've only been taught one thing, that this is the real life. You go, you buy this stuff, you'll feel happy. You're not feeling happy? Okay, go for a holiday. Go for a fancy vacation. You're not feeling happy? Okay, we'll buy you a brand new sports car. You're not feeling happy? I'll buy you an iPhone. You're not feeling happy? Let's take you out to a fancy place. You're not feeling happy? So this is how they have been trying to feel happy. That's why they have addictions. And that's why they have this control issue. And that is the reason why they have such a big ego. So the universe is saying that there will be two things that will happen. Either the divine feminine will become completely, the source will completely function through her. She will not even need to lift a finger. She will manifest whatever she wants, wherever she is, and she will be the happiest person on this planet. Like, I don't mean happy like how the worldly world happy, but content. Like in Hindi, they say Sad Chit Anand, totally like that. And she'll be like, I'll do my mission work on my own. I don't care. But if it is predestined for her to join hands with other people, to form a team, or to do this, or maybe she gets a taste of doing certain things alone, she doesn't have big desires. Most divine feminines don't have very big desires. They just want to nurture. They are the nurturers. The feminines are the receivers and the nurturers, because when they receive this energy, they put it in nurturing. That is the real divine feminine, They are real deal nurturers. So they can nurture anything. You don't have to nurture only a child, a biological child. And after going through so much abuse and so much trauma and doing so much inner work, most of the divine feminines feel this, that, I should not make babies, because what am I going to be, doing when I make babies? I'll just be another machine, another child producing machine. Why don't I adopt children? Okay, even adopting children will limit me to only one child. Why don't I adopt many children? Or why don't I make a school for them? Or why don't I give them some skill? Why don't I sponsor more people? And those divine feminines who are already mothers, they have already given birth to their children, they will also become so responsible, because they'll be like, I have already produced human beings on this planet, and they will have their own karma, and my karma could get carried forward to them, and they will have a whole race of, human beings. They can do, how one seed get transferred to another. These divine feminines will see that their motherhood is their mission, and her job is to, without being attached with the child. If you get attached with the child, my son, my daughter, you're in big trouble. And motherhood is not for superiority complex or inferiority complex. Of course, when you're not healed, you're being raised by a narcissistic mother and you have been pleasing your mother all your life, then you will feel really difficult raising children, because no matter what you do for them, you'll always feel that I am not a good enough mother. And the children will also be, cranky. Children will also act in that way. That detachment only gets released via therapies, via inner work, via awareness. And let me tell you, if you cannot do any of these things, then practice focused attention. Google about focused attention and Google about this word Ajapa Jap. If you can find about Ajapa Jap, just do it. Just do it. That is really the bestest thing possible. So when she learns that her mission is to raise these human beings and create, them into, not create, she's already co-created them, but give them a lifestyle, give them right education, not this education which is given in schools and colleges. The actual education. She'll be the teacher, or she will find the right teachers for them. She will make sure that she educates the sons or the daughters and turns them into human beings who practice focused attention every time, all the time. Very aware, very awakened individuals. So this is what the divine feminine is supposed to do. Either she nurtures her own children or she nurtures others' children. If she didn't know, she was too young when she gave birth to the children, and later on she found out that she's a twin flame. Then also, when you raise your own children, that does not mean you can't sponsor other children. I know people who have probably adopted 13, 14 children, and all of the kids in the house are literally genius. They are not even going to the school. They are homeschooled, or they have a very different system. But these two human beings, like the mother and father, they are themselves, they are so amazing. They have created their own small universe where they want to make sure that the children know everything about nature, about the universe, about real living, not completely materialistic, and they can do whatever they want. They can grow their own food, they can grow herbs and medicines, they can fight for themselves, they can stand up in the society, and they are raised in such a smart way that they can blend in very easily. Those children will never go into bad company because the mother is giving them so much intimacy, so much love, so many hugs and kisses. So now coming back to the divine masculine. Now some of the divine masculines are very stubborn, as we all know. They do want to, know everything about this type of love, but they have never experienced this thing. So at the same time, when they try to run away from it, they also try to figure it out. So they always keep a watch on the divine feminines, whether divine feminines know it or not. In some cases, they are also in communication, they also talk. So for a lot of divine feminines who are still unhappy about this whole thing, I tell them that imagine or think, at one point in time, for so many years, you were in no contact situation. Now the same person who never used to call you or message you for such a long time calls you up, admits they love you, he loves you, and keeps in touch with you. Why do you want so much more before time? Why don't you just focus on your mission work? Why don't you just do what you're here to do? And that is to just be, and that is to live fully, So forget about all of this. So the universe's another answer was that for those divine feminines who are on a very big mission work, who are supposed to contribute to the planet while enjoying their lives, they are definitely going to, most probably, choose a soulmate, because the soulmate is also there to help them in their mission work. They could have already ascended. It's also possible that the soulmate has a very, strong respect for this person, And the soulmate is also on a similar mission. So the soulmate understands this thing. He is not possessive. He is not like, I want this, I want that. So it is, as I said in part 1 also, it seems to be a very natural inclination that they will form. It will be a very friendly bond. It will be a very trustworthy bond where they are together only for something bigger. They are not together because they want to get into a romantic situation, they want to go out on dates, or they want to do this. They won't even be interested in that. The divine masculine is definitely going to observe all of this, if possible from a distance, or else he would just be aware, he would talk about it, or he would know that, she's living with this such and such person, or she's doing such and such amazing things. That is supposed to bring him out of his materialistic charade that he lives in, huge materialistic charade that these materialistic objects are going to make you happy or make him happy. So this is the purpose of this whole situation. But obviously the bigger purpose is the mission work, because that is a predestined, already set thing. By, the time the divine masculine starts awakening, he will start feeling this sense of love and respect for the feminine, and he would not be scared of her anymore, or that energy or the intensity. He would be open towards it, and he would also realize that, even I have something to contribute, and my contribution is best when I contribute for the divine feminine. So what is the future of this whole story or this energy? Because this is not going to happen to everyone. Let me clarify this right here. Because I don't want all of you to think that, everyone is supposed to choose a soulmate. No, that is not happening with everyone. This energy will work for some people, as I had mentioned. Even if it happens with 500 divine feminines, like I'm giving a number, just a rough figure, that is also a huge number on the planet Earth's ascension, because 500 awakened divine feminines, they can do so much. They can do so much, literally so much. And they would be very happy and content. So there is no pain of separation, or there is no longing or possessiveness. Even if the divine masculine also goes ahead and marries someone, or even if he starts dating someone or whatever, wants to do something with someone else, she will not feel a thing. She will not feel a thing. She'll be like, so what? She will become like Radha, and how was Radha? Once Radha got ascended, she never did all of those things like, longing for Krishna. She was like, you go and do your mission. I'm with you. I will do my mission. Actually, Ram got energy from Sita, who's the divine feminine, and Krishna got energy from Radha, because they are Shakti. They are the source of energy. Like in Shiv and Shakti, Shiv is the happiness, the contentment. So when only the divine feminine is fully awakened, transcended, ascended, all of that, then only she'll be in such an amazing zone. She won't need anyone. Only then the counterpart can be Krishna, the counterpart can be Ram, or the counterpart can be Shiva. Otherwise, how is it possible? How is it possible that she's crying in one corner, sobbing in one corner? How is it possible that he can be in his full energy? It's just not possible. So on that note, I would be wrapping up this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.